This is what we have at the moment. For our next step, we're going to create a circle that covers our entire shape. Go over to your Create Circles and Ellipses tool. By holding down the Control key, drag over the whole shape. Now, using our Transform tool, go ahead and drag over both our items. Then press Shift-Ctrl-A to bring out our alignment options. Or alternatively, you can look for this icon. We're going to align them on the vertical and the horizontal axis. We're going to duplicate our circle one more time. The next thing we'll do is to adjust the start and the end of the circle. But before we do that, we'll go ahead and fill it with a color. I'll use a yellow color. Head on over to your Create Circles and Ellipses tool. Adjust the start and the end. Try to match it with mine. Now go ahead and press Shift-Ctrl-F to bring out our fill options. That's Shift-Ctrl-F. We're going to give this segment a gradient. We're going to give it a linear gradient. Change the end color to something like green. We do that by clicking this little circle here. Now we can see that our color is a bit transparent. That's because we have an alpha. We need to get rid of that alpha by just dragging this handle right to the end. Now we'll do the same for the second sector. Go ahead and duplicate the circle. Fill it with something like blue. Go over to your Create Circles and Ellipses tool. Adjust the start and the end. I'm just going to allow a slight overlap from where it goes green, leading into the blue. I'll move the end a little bit down. Now, to get my gradient, I'm going to do the same thing we did for the first sector, but this time I'll make sure that the end color is similar to the first one we made. I'll give it a linear gradient. Change this color. We'll go ahead and sample this green we have here. We can do that by pressing D. Now, going back into my transform tool, I can adjust this color and make it a blue. I'll get rid of the alpha by sliding these handles. Don't worry about this line, we're going to get rid of it. We're going to duplicate our circle 2 more times. This time I'll fill my circle with the purple. Going back into the Create Circles and Ellipses tool, I'll adjust the start and the end. The next thing is to give it a gradient. Adjust these nodes and make sure that they're starting from where the other one left, leading into the next sector. By holding down the D key, I can sample this color. I'll change my end color to something like a purple red. Get rid of the alpha. Click on the second circle duplicate. Change the color to a red. Go back into your Create Circles and Ellipses tool. And like we did for the first sectors, go ahead and adjust the start and the end. For this gradient, we'll try and sample this yellow and a bit of the purple, but we'll try to include this red in the middle. Now, to get a red going in the middle, we have to use our gradient options. We do that by double-clicking this gradient tool. Click the first node and press this little plus sign. That's added a node between the first and the second node. Now we'll change that into a red. That completes our circle color. To get rid of these outlines, go ahead and click each and every one of the sectors by holding down the Shift key. Now, go ahead and click this little box with an X on it while still holding down the Shift key. Now that we've applied gradients to all of our sectors, the next thing we'll do is to group them. Hold down the Shift key and click every one of them. Go ahead and group them by pressing Ctrl G. Now head on over to our Filters menu. Go to Blurs and select Blur. Make sure you have these two options ticked, the blur content only and the live preview. Adjust your horizontal blur to something like 40. And for your vertical blur, adjust this to something around 60. I'll click my live preview option. That blends out our whole shape. Go ahead and click apply. Now, with our shape still selected, press the End key. That set the whole shape behind our previous shape. Now, click the circle shape we made the first time. While it's still selected, go ahead and click the second circle by holding down the Shift key. Now go over into Object, Clip, and choose the Set option. As you can see, our design is already complete. Now all we need to do is to add a background to it. Go ahead and move it over to the right. Create a rectangle. Press the End key to move it back. And choose a dark color. I'll apply a dark gray. There you have it. Our Coldplay logo is complete.